Hello, hello. Welcome back down here to Southwest Florida. Jessica Sammis here with the Sammis team. Have you wondered if it is possible to get back down to under 3% or close to 3% on your interest rate for buying a house? Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you today about a way that is possible. And you don't have to wait over 50 years because that's probably the next time that it could ever happen, if it ever happens again. Yes, it is so frustrating out there for our buyers who are not able to buy. Us, we're one of them, because the interest rates have more than doubled. And we really think about our monthly payments when we're going to buy a house. Those interest rates that are more than doubled than what you might be paying for now makes it very difficult, okay? But today I'm going to talk about a solution that might just fix it all. So I will not leave you in suspense any longer. Let's get into it. What is this very exciting thing that can just completely change the buying game for you in real estate today? Well, that it is possible to go out there and get an interest rate that is 3% or lower. What? How? Okay, I'm going to tell you. So this is very exciting. If the seller has an FHA loan, then it is assumable to the buyer. They can pass it on to the buyer, basically. So what happened with us? Very quick story time. We bought our house in February 2020. We thought it was not a good time to buy at the time. We were like, oh my gosh, the prices of these houses are too high, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that was an excellent time to buy because our interest rate is under 3%. And we bought our house with an FHA loan. So if we wanted to, we could sell it and pass that interest rate on to someone else. You're welcome. What a gift at this day and age when interest rates are like around 7%, over 7%. I do not envision them coming down too much more anytime soon. So, that's another lesson for another day, that, we thought it was so high at that time, not the interest rates, but the prices of the homes. And I'm just so glad that we didn't just wait. Like, don't always just wait for something else because we really have no idea what's going to happen. I wish I had a crystal ball, but I don't. And I can't tell exactly what's going to happen in the future. So what is an FHA loan? An FHA loan is the Federal Housing Administration. It's a government loan and it has a little more leniency with credit and your down payment requirements. So if it is important to you right now to keep a little bit more cash on hand because everything is so expensive, if you have a growing family like us, it is nice to have a little bit more cash on hand or for a rainy day or whatever it is. Hey, that's called being a grown-up. It might be a good idea for you to consider doing an FHA loan just because you are not a first-time home buyer. This is a very big misconception out there, is that you have to be a first-time home buyer to get an FHA loan. That is not true. You do have to meet some certain requirements, but the big thing that a lot of people don't understand as well is they think, actually a lot of realtors out there that are selling a home, they think that somebody coming in and wanting to purchase with an FHA loan is going to cause more trouble with the inspection and things like that. It actually really doesn't. There's a few little things here and there that they might be a little bit more strict on with regards to the appraisal and getting it passed to that like final closing table, but it's not that bad. Okay, so taking over a previous FHA interest rate. So again, if the seller currently has an FHA loan, then you as the buyer could take over that loan, which means going from maybe a 7% down to possibly a 3 or 4%. That is a significant advantage. And if you are out there looking for a home in, you're in that home buying process and you're realizing that what you thought, you could qualify for, which you probably do qualify for, and then what is the reality of what your monthly payment might be, it doesn't add up and you don't like the way that looks, that's happening with a lot of our buyers, then this might be a way to significantly knock that amount down. So what are some of the benefits of assuming an FHA loan? First of all, you will probably get a lower interest rate because if it was bought before now, then the interest rate was most likely pretty low, unless it was bought a lot of years ago. And you can potentially just secure that lower interest rate than what is currently available on the market. You can also avoid paying that upfront mortgage insurance premium. So One of the other, I guess I would put it more on like the negative side of an FHA loan, is that you have to pay a mortgage insurance premium. The reason for that is that banks say, hey, well, you're not putting as much money down on the home, and you might not have as good as credit as you might have for a conventional loan, some of the other different loans. Then we're just going to make you pay a little bit of insurance just to make sure that we're getting our money. So that's why they do it. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I understand. But once that is paid up to 20%, then the mortgage and premium drops. So you don't have to pay that anymore. So even if you are taking out a brand new FHA loan, which their interest rates currently are a little bit lower than the other ones, so that might be something to look into, then you won't have to pay for that mortgage insurance premium. Alrighty, so what are the requirements for assuming an FHA loan? When assuming an FHA loan, there are specific requirements that the borrower must meet. You have to have a credit qualification. The new borrower must undergo credit worthiness, just like any other loan, and review and meet FHA's credit standards, including a minimum credit score of typically 580 if you're doing 3.5% down, or 500 for a 10% down. They have to have income verification, and the new borrower's income, employment history, debt to income ratio will be evaluated to ensure that they can afford the monthly payment, of course. Down payment. If the seller has built up enough equity in the home, the new borrower may need to make a down payment to cover the difference between the remaining loan balance and the home's current value. That would be something to talk to the lender about, as with most of these things. The new borrower must also intend to use this property as their primary residence. With a loan assumption, there might be a fee as well, and it's currently capped at about $900. But again, something to check with the lender about. So what are the steps to assume this FHA loan? Find a property with an existing FHA loan. Talk to your realtor about seeing if they're able to find a house that has an existing FHA loan. Like I said before, we are able to check out the MLS to see if that is a possibility, and we will put you in the right direction. I would highly recommend that you explore this option if you are interested in purchasing a home with an FHA loan. So be sure to work with a knowledgeable realtor and a great lender to navigate the process successfully. If you have any further questions or you need assistance, please feel free to reach out and let's have a chat. Trying to do an English accent, it's not working so well. And if you are considering coming down to Southwest Florida to make it your future home, or just come down for a little vacation down here in paradise, might I suggest you take a look at this video here, where we explore all of the best spots on Minnesota Key and Inglewood Beach. It was super fun. It was a great time. It was in April, I think, and the weather was just perfectly gorgeous. So you ought to check it out and come with us on a nice little adventure. All right, thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you subscribe, hit the like button, do all the things, share it with somebody who might find this useful, because we know that the times are tough when it comes to these dang interest rates. And you might as well take every advantage that you can in order to get to a point where you feel really great about that monthly payment if you are borrowing money to buy a house, which most of us are. And if you're not, cheers to you, because that's amazing. All right, thanks for joining, and until next time, cheers. This is non-alcoholic, just so you know. Not that I judge anyone, but I guess it's probably 5 o'clock somewhere, right? All right, cheers, and we'll see you next time.